Welcome to Speak On It with Who You With Curtdog. I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. Welcome to Speak On It with Who You With Curtdog. I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. Who you with Kurt? I'm out. Welcome to Speak On It with Who You With Curtdog. Welcome to Speak On It with Who You With Curtdog. I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. Welcome to Speak On It with Who You With Curtdog. Welcome to Speak On It with Who You With Curtdog. I'm welcome. I'm welcome. I'm welcome. I'm welcome to Speak On It with Who You With Curtdog. Welcome to Speak On It with Who You With Curtdog. I'm welcome. I'm welcome. I'm welcome. I'm welcome to Speak On It with Who You With Curtdog. Welcome to Speak On It with Who You With Curtdog. I'm welcome. I'm welcome. I'm welcome. I'm welcome to Speak On It. Welcome to Speak On It. I'm welcome to Speak On It. Welcome to Speak On it. I'm welcome to Speak On It. Welcome to Speak On it. I'm welcome to speak. Welcome to speak. Welcome to speak. I'm 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 welcome to speak. Who you with, Curtdog? I'm Who You With, Curtdog. Want to welcome everyone to the show tonight. Hopefully y'all been having a great week so far. Want to shout out to everyone to Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, as always in the house. You can live chat with us in the chat room. Also, whatever platform you're on, please like, share, subscribe. Uh, Let everybody know live, and you can actually live chat with us. Tonight, we're going to hit on a couple of stories, but before we get to those stories, want to shout out to South Oak Cliff High School right here uh, in Dallas, Oak Cliff, Texas. Is in the house on their way to the semifinal in Amarillo, I believe, this weekend. To South Oak Cliff High School, go ahead and bring that trophy back. Congratulations to y'all and supporting y'all. So shout out to South Oak Cliff. I know the Golden Bears are alive, and I know many of people that actually went to South Oak Cliff, so I know they are happy. Once again, congratulations to y'all and good luck in the semifinal. Tonight, we're going to talk about a couple of stories. Ryan Remington, that's the police officer that was fired for shooting and killing Richard Lee Richards 9 times. And Richards was a suspected um, shop out of Tucson, Arizona, that allegedly stole a toolkit and pulled the knife on the officer, but the officer followed him all the way over to Lowe's and ended up shooting him in the back and side once his backup got there. And he could have used less lethal force, but he chose to shoot and kill him. So he was terminated. So we will talk about that story a little bit more. Um, then Joel Honor. This is very disturbing out of Cypress, Texas, out near Houston. Um, he was facing aggravated kidnapping, um, sex trafficking of a child, and other charges. And we'll talk about that a little bit more. And then also, we got another one on our hand. Justice for Dante Wright. That's the young man that was shot. I believe it was last year in Minnesota, where Kim Porter, the police officer, is getting ready to go on trial. And so far, they have an all-white jury. Yeah, here we go again with this BS. Um, an all-white jury that is they're still waiting to pick two alternate jury. But you mean to tell me in that particular county they couldn't find no black jurors? That's why it's so important to get out and vote. So we're going to hit on that tonight. And maybe a couple other stories we're going to hit on too, depends on how much time we have. Um, so I know it's a lot I haven't been on since last Thursday, but it's been rough. Working late. So the only thing I've had time for was to come home, take a shower, get a bite to eat, and go to bed and do it all over again. Um, so that's what's going on in my world. So out in Tucson, Arizona, this came out, I guess a couple of days ago. It came out where a Tucson police officer has been fired after fatally shooting a man sitting in a mobility scooter. Officials announced. Tucson Police Chief Chris Mangus condemned the shooting in a news conference Tuesday after camera video and surveillance footage showed former police officer Ryan Remington shooting 61-year-old Richard Lee Richards 9 times after Richards was suspected of shoplifting from a Walmart. His use of deadly force in this incident is a clear violation of department policy and contracted multiple aspects of use of force and training, said Mangus. Surveillance footage from Walmart showed Remington and an employee slowly Richards through a parking lot while Richards is in a mobility scooter. Police said an employee told Remington, who was off duty and working security at the store, that Richards stole a toolbox. Remington asked Richards for a receipt, but Richard brandished a knife and continued toward another store, according to Mangus. According to the Walmart employee, Richard said, "If you want me to put down the knife, you're gonna have to shoot me." An officer arrived as Richards made his way toward the entrance of a Lowe's hardware store. In one of the video, Remington is heard asking Richards to stop. When Richards refused to stop, Remington opened fire, with 9 rounds hitting Richards before he fell to the ground. Surveillance footage video showed Remington using handcuffs on Richards right after the shooting. Officer rendered medical care, but a short time later, Mr. Richards was declared dead, the police chief said. Attorney Mike Story, who has represented Remington, told CBS News that the video only showed part of what happened. They cut and paste videos that show about 20% of what actually happened last night. The story said he added that his client, close proximate to Richard, did not allow the officer to safely deploy his taser. In a statement released Tuesday, Tucson Mayor Regina Romero called the shooting unconstitutional and indefensible. The case is now under investigated by Pima County Attorney Office. The man is in a mobility chair. Seemed like he could have done something else besides killing this man. He's driving away now. If he did another toolbox, yes, he should have been held accountable for it. But you followed him that long, and you didn't have no other way of um, grabbing your tape and using less lethal force than just shooting this man in the back and side. And the problem is the mobility chairs, they don't really go all this. So you mean to tell me you can walk around to the front of them and face them to get them to stop? Um, so the police chief did him right away, and I'm quite sure there's going to be some other stuff coming up. It's amazing how police unions and they end up terminating an employee for using deadly force or violating someone's civil right. Then these police force and the attorneys representing him come up and say he did nothing wrong or she did nothing wrong, and then turn around and um, that cop is actually charges drop and they go back to work, or they settle with them and they move on to the next police department. But it's no way you walk from Walmart to Lowe's and you didn't have a clear shot to use your taser. Yeah, that don't sound right at all. Um, but we'll keep an eye on this one. Uh this next story is just it's crazy, and I don't just want to know your opinion. Um, Charges drop in case of man accused of locking teen in storage unit and raping her. Cypress, Texas. They just did an update on this a couple of days ago. Charges have been dropped against a 34-year-old man accused of locking a 17-year-old girl inside of a storage unit for days in livable condition. The girl, who authorities say was repeatedly raped while and captured, requested charges to be dropped, according to the district office. Joy Minor had been facing 3 felony charges, including aggravated kidnapping, sexual, and trafficking of a child. When prosecutor confronted the witness with newly uncovered evidence that did not match her earlier statement, she asked that the case not proceed to trial. She would not testify, said Dana Skrilla, spokesman for the Harris County District Attorney Office. Um, the Harris County Precinct 1 Constable Office originally stated the teen was kept in a storage unit in the Cypress area for 5 days. Investigators said he would leave and return at different point during a 5-day span late last month. Authorities said Honor displayed a firearm to the teen, injected her with drugs, and sexual assaulted her. Um, Honor once lived near the victim and knew her, said Harris County Precinct 1 Constable Alan Rosen. During a court appearance in April, prosecutor alleged Honor threatened to harm the victim, 14-year-old sister, on March 27 if she didn't go with him. They wound it up at the storage facility in the 19,100 block of FM 529, where she was held for the next 5 days. During that time, the teen was raped more than once, and at least and at one point, Honor allegedly tried to force her to perform oral sex after he found out she got a hold of a cell phone located in the unit, prosecutor said. According to prosecutor, Honor also kept a firearm in the unit, leading the girl to locating bullets, hiding them, and then holding on to them. Those bullets were used as evidence. Court record. It wasn't until April 1st that Honor told the girl to leave the unit. Prosecutor said he directed her to walk along the fence until she got to a nearby convenience store, where she flagged down law enforcement. The victim picked out Honor in a photo lineup, and he was arrested on April 13th. Looking into the victim claim, investigator went to the storage unit where they found sarin and condom filled with urine. Prosecutor called the unit unlivable with no window or running water. The girl told them she had to use a bucket to use the restroom. And This story really is crazy with everything that went on with this case. Um, and his bond, the judge kept on the bond amount at 300,000 after his attorney asked it to be lowered. The judge also set bond condition which prohibit him from holding on to any guns, subject him to random testing for drugs and alcohol, orders him to house arrest if he posts bond, and ban him from contact with the victim or anyone who knows her. Honor has no prior conviction in Texas. On Thursday, Rosen told ABC 13 authority found several checks, driving license, and credit card belonging to others. When they look, when they took Honor into custody, indicting there might be other victims. Eyewitness News learned on Friday that Rosen Precinct 1 received calls from other possible victims suggesting Honor may have assaulted them. Investigation into each call are underway, the constable office said. And they are asking if anyone with information about Honor or other victims is urged to contact Precinct 1 Human Traffic Hotline at 832-927-1650. Once again, that's 832-927-1650. If you know someone who may be a victim of this guy down in Cypress, Texas, down in the Houston area, definitely reach out to them for they can charge him properly and get him off the street because he don't need to be on the street. He don't need to be on the street at all, doing human traffic and raping a child, raping anyone at that point. Um, I don't understand it. This day and time, it's it's crazy. It's crazy how people um, would risk their life to do something like that. Um, so that's just crazy. But then you messed up our life because that's something they're gonna have to live with for the rest of their life, knowing that they was held and then making threats toward her younger sister. Of course, the child is nervous. She don't want to put her younger sister at risk or put her younger sister to have to deal with anything she just dealt with. And so hopefully, if it is other victims, they speak up and let's put this guy behind bars where he should be. Yeah, excuse me. Um, man, this is which one? Yeah, another video came out. It actually, I want to say it happened a couple of days ago too, but this story just came out today. Um, Video capturing the moment that a Minneapolis officer tackled a 64-year-old man inside an Aldi store has gone viral on social media. The incident, the incident took place at the Aldi on East Franklin Avenue on Wednesday evening. A video that captured part of the incident was posted on Instagram later in that evening and has assumed more than 100,000 views online. It began with the man who identified himself as Troy Lee Billop telling Officer Christopher Lane, "Don't put your hands on me." Lane, who is white, is seen grabbing Billop by the collar and shoving him face down into a nearby counter. "What are you doing? You supposed to de-escalate." How the fuck is this de-escalating? The person filming the video can be heard saying. Um, Lane then threw Billups to the ground and the pair struggled for more than a minute as the man repeatedly told the officer not to touch him. At one point, the officer tell a bystander that Billup has been arrested because he's obstructing. And they said, no, you escalating this situation. The person filming say, you escalating the situation. You made this happen. It's clear. It's clear as day. The officer later take Billups outside, and when the person can catch up to them near a patrol car, they appear to be discussing an alleged altercation that led up to the incident. You shouldn't have put your hands on me, Billa told the officer. We were we weren't fighting. We was talking. We weren't pushing. We didn't touch each other. Only I just said, don't put your hands on me. Moments later, Lane placed Bill up in handcuffs. And just like that. I don't know who the person was that Billups was arguing with, having a discussion with, but according to the video, uh, like he said, they were just having a conversation for whatever reason. This cop thought they was fighting, and looking at the still photo, I could see uh, look like a white woman. I don't trying to hold her back or what's going on, but if that's the case, if she's the one he was having the discussion with, of course he automatically gonna go take her side. Unfortunately, a lot of time that happen where somebody that is non-color would actually could be the one that causing the problem, but they the ones that whose side the police officer would automatically take. And looking at Lane, I don't know for sure, but look like he had three, four, look like five different gun clips on his belt, which is kind of like he's preparing. He's already prepared for trouble with all these clips on his belt. I don't know what's going on or the reason why you carrying that much ammunition on your utility belt. It look like you ready for combat. I understand being a police officer is a very dangerous job. Um, but to be prepared like that, look like you looking for trouble. Um, so that's I don't know. That's kind of uh, crazy on that. And speaking of looking for trouble, um, I made a stop last night to get some change, and I pull up. I seen uh, I seen a police car outside the convenience store. I back up like I normally do. Back up, get out, and when I walk in, the guy looked at me real crazy, as if I was trying to steal or whatever. And um, but here it is. When he realized how I was dressed, he still stared at me wrong. But then I went in, purchased a couple things, and left out. But before the cop left out, clerk gonna tell them, "Hey, y'all be safe out there," which is cool. I always tell them be safe. Apparently, one of them had apparently have um, a a record of getting into it with somebody because she gonna say you stay out of trouble. Told told them both to be safe, but then told the one that was staring me up and down, you stay out of trouble. So that to me is kind of like he's probably, they say it's always one bad apple. I don't know for sure, but he's probably the one that is the bad apple, because if I would have went in there and dressed any other type of way, he probably would have assumed uh, I was up to something no good, because the way he stared me down when I walked in, he looked like I was like he was finna bum rush me or whatever. And I just said, I could see him at the corner of my eyes, but I'm like, hey, even when I left out, they both watched me as I got in my vehicle and pulled off. And they probably ran my test, but probably realized, oh, might want to leave him alone. So, um, so definitely, I respect policemen. It's a dangerous job. I have friends and family that are police officers, and I respect um, for the work they do. Um, Now, even some of the bad cops, they might do some when it's dealing with certain people, but when it's dealing with other people that they not used around, it's normally um, a big issue, and that's where the problem come in at. So, but shout out to all the police officer, and I forgot the officer name, but the one in Mesquite last week that was shot and killed by a suspect dealing with a domestic violence situation in a parking lot. Um, and then on top of that, his wife ended up being charged too for an assault, because apparently the guy had been cheating or something, and uh, she caught a husband up there with another woman, and she was making an attempt to shoot the husband and the chick too. And so she had been charged, and kind of find out she's here illegally. So, um, and they haven't gave much information about itself, about this guy. They don't think the officer shot him, but they believe he shot himself. And they're not giving out too much detail in that situation. Prayers go out to the family of that officer, and hopefully justice is served. That guy's held accountable. Hopefully, he survived this situation, but he's still. I want to say they have him under watch, but he haven't been arrested because he's still doing surgeries and stuff. So he pretty much been out of it. So hopefully he survived and be held accountable. But I know the wife is held um, on the immigration hold. So um, so to the police, Mesquite Police Department, and his family in the community supporting his family is a wonderful thing. I even seen a young man that said he just got his offer from a police department thanks to him, because he made a difference in his life. And um, but you never know. You never can judge the book by its color. Because I know when I did security years ago, I had several police officers. One that really stuck out was Officer Wise at the Garland Police Department, um, which was really good, because if I needed something, he came. Uh, I always had my back or anything like that. So, and tonight, uh, hold on, there's a couple of more stories we're gonna hit on tonight. Um, uh, Trying to see which one of these I'm gonna do first. But you to speak on it with Who You With Curtdog. I'm M, Who You With Curtdog. And please do not forget Thursday night, Miss Simmons will be in the house Our licensed counselor will be on the show. She will be taking your questions, dealing with counseling, how to deal with different things uh, may face in everyday life. So definitely be a part of that show. If you know somebody who is uh, struggling with um, this will be a show for them on Wednesday. On Thursday, I'm sorry, on Thursday, 8 p.m. Central Time. Miss Risky and I both will show. Um, Miss Simmons, I talked with her today, and she says she would definitely be here Thursday to provide counseling. Been a while since we've done a show together, so interesting. So if you have questions about anything, this is the time to talk with a counselor, and you could possibly uh, get help. What if you in the DB area or anywhere? If it's questions you have, um, you're trying to figure out how to deal with things, this will be a perfect time to get free counseling. You can call in, talk with her, or if you don't want to call in, you can put it in the chat. Either way, so it's definitely one of those situations where you want to take advantage of this. Because myself personally, I take counseling every week. It's a good thing. Um, it's nothing wrong with it. Unfortunately, in the Black community, um, we was taught not to tell your business, or we didn't need counseling, but counseling is a wonderful thing. Um, I would definitely recommend it for anybody. Everybody's situation is different. You never know who it may help, um, and it's definitely a situation where take advantage of this. This is something that I've always have tried to do since I've been doing the show, having counselors come on. And sometimes my schedules don't match up because they have to see their clients. They deal with type of clients, so I have to work around their schedule. But counseling is a wonderful thing. And the only way counseling would work, you have to be honest. You have to be honest with the counselor. That's the only way they can provide um, the proper service for you. They can give you their professional opinion of it, but the only way that would really work, you have to be honest with them. So definitely tune in Thursday, regardless of what you're dealing with. It could be family issues. They specialize in this. Family issues, uh, kids um, specialize in these grown. Because I'm gonna tell you, if it wasn't for my counselor, boy, y'all would be thinking we talking about uh after dark, because it will be crazy up in here. So definitely tune in on Thursday um, with Miss Simmons and Miss Risky and I, um, for we can provide some help regardless of what you're going through. People go through different things, but this is an opportunity where you can actually get some help and understand. Now, what a lot of I say it all the time on the show, what a lot of people don't realize, you can actually get counseling for free if you work. Go to your HR. Go to your HR. Ask about the employee assistance program, and they should provide the information for you where you can actually get counseling for free. Some companies are offering mental health counseling, or some insurance company are offering free mental health counseling. Um, I passed by a billboard today, and I can't remember the name of the company that had it, but it was the insurance company said now offering free mental health counseling. So definitely check with your insurance, your HR, get some help. There's too much going on in the world. Yeah, we talked about shooting, um, a shooting in Dallas, um, where I don't know if the two people got out. They were shooting at each other, but it started because of a road rage. One ended up dead, ended up in jail. Well, yesterday it came out that uh, a man from Houston brought his son up here to a doctor's appointment, and the police is asking for help. So he was over on Walter Walker near downtown, and they assume it's a road rage, and somebody shot him and killed him. His son was shot in the leg, and his son is special needs, and only could let the police know it was a black car, a black sedan. That's all he could say it was. But here it is. He came up here to bring his son to a doctor's appointment, and now this man is killed, and his son had to witness this. So if you was over on Walter Walker near downtown and seen anything, please notify Dallas Police Department to bring this person to justice. Um, get them charged with murder. Kind of like what I said last week. I'm driving down 35. Somebody got upset because it was a haul stopped in the middle of the highway, and they shot from behind me to try to get in front of me. And because they couldn't do it, they let me and started blowing their horn. Well, I just kept going. I didn't blow my horn back, didn't tell them they was number one or anything. I just kept rolling. But at the same time, that could have been a situation if I responded the way they wanted me to. They probably uh, would have been a person that did the same thing, uh, got fired a shot or whatever. So we got to be mindful of who we dealing with and how we deal with people, because between this pandemic and the stress behind it, and now holidays are coming up, people don't know how to deal with stuff. People would deal with stuff quicker because if they have a gun, they think it's okay to pull it. They don't look at the consequences of having a gun. And once you pull that trigger, whatever happened, you're going to be held accountable. It's just a matter of time you get caught. It may not happen the same day, it may not happen the same year. But when you get caught, you're going to be held accountable. And that's the issue that we running into today, with the leaders signing into law where these people can purchase a gun legally without any type of training or anything like that, which is a setup for failure. That's why we need to get out and vote and change our leadership, because if not, it's going to continue happening. Now, if you notice, Greg Abbott don't talk about that wall too much because he feel like he have this election already won. I noticed that some billionaire um, paid for, I believe it's 98% of the wall, and Greg Abbott don't talk about it no more. But at the same time, that's because Greg Abbott is on the run to thinking he's going to win again. But whoever run against him, we need to rally together like we did against Trump and get Greg out of office because Greg Abbott is the same as Trump. He's gonna play that tone. Like I said before, people do not talk about the border until it's election time, re-election time, either way you want to put it. They don't talk about that border until then. And when they talk about it, people start to get nervous and they vote out of fear, regardless of what this man done for the pandemic, regardless of how he still support Ken Patson with these charges hanging over his head, and how he Ken Patson to go and file all these bogus lawsuits that is going to cause our tax dollars to go up. So we really need to get together and make sure we send him a message and let him take this no more. It's time for him to go. As long as he been in office, a matter of fact, as long as um, Republicans been in office, Texas, if they really wanted that wall built, they could have got it built over these years. I believe, and I may be wrong, but I don't think I am. I believe Ann Richardson was the last Democratic governor Texas had. And that was a long time ago. Um, Hell, I think I was still in high school when Ann Richards was governor. So that tells you a whole bunch. Um, so we need to make sure we send Greg Abbott a message. Oh, and Dan Patrick, don't think we haven't forgot about you either. And you the one that said you'll put up $1 million if it was somebody found fraud in the presidential election against Trump. Well, it was a couple of fraud, and I believe it was found in Pennsylvania. And did you ever pay them? I think it was two them that $1 million for that fraud. That was for Trump. So we haven't forgot about you either. We still need to get you out of office too. So that's Ken Paxson, um, Dan Patrick, and also Greg Abbott. And please don't forget about Sid Miller. He needs to go too because he right along. And do not think just because um, what's his name, Hanfon out of that is running for governor. He actually have postcards that he's sending out saying Hanfon's for governor, deport illegals. So that's telling you something else what they're trying to do. Uh, um, so that's how they're gonna use that uh, scare tactic, which I told you last year when my wife and I went to San Antonio earlier this year. We went to San Antonio, and once you get out south of Dallas, you see billboards all the way down to San Antonio and all the way back about deporting illegals. Um, so, with that being said, people don't believe the hype. Yeah, this man is in a car dealership. What I would never purchase a car from him. But also, you need to do your homework on it, on these candidates, because everybody, they're going to talk a good game. That's why I tell radio all the time, wish we had a system like yours. If up in Canada, if the elected official don't do what they say they're going to do, well, guess what? They're going to end up doing a recall, get them out of there. And we need to have more of that. But it take us as a people to get up off our butt, go vote, and then send them a message. That's why I talk about so much and say, hey, don't wait until it's time to vote. Go ahead and get registered. And please, if you are a a have a felony conviction on your record, and you paid all your dues, don't forget, if you paid all your dues, most states and give you your voting rights back. But they not finna knock on your door and tell you you could get them back. You got to go and find out from um, vote.org. Go on there and answer the question, and it'll let you know if you could get it back. And if so, get registered to vote. Take advantage of it. Get out and vote, um, which is something that we need to do. Don't wait until the last minute and say, oh, it's election time. Oh man, I didn't get a chance to register. Well, you have time to register. It's nothing wrong with doing it early. Don't procrastinate and wait until the last minute to do it. Get registered today for when these elections come up next year. Only thing you got to do is go in there and vote. Go in there and vote. Get registered. Whatever county you are in, get registered to vote. Um, and welcome to the show. T Cal is in the house. Hey, Curtdog, I was waiting on you until I had to step away, but I'm glad I got you. I appreciate you for always supporting the show, and I definitely appreciate it. I know I've been hit and miss lately because of schedule, but kind of first of the year we'll be back on track. It won't be as bad as it is, but um, so I'll be back on track and being able to set some days up. Right now we're doing it Tuesdays. I try to do it Wednesday, depends on what time I get home, but also on Thursdays. Um, I definitely do it Tuesdays and Thursdays. Um, so, and then if I get the opportunity on Sundays, I will do it. But most of the time, I'm asleep. Uh, I'm exhausted. So, um, like to do the show, not unless I'm prepared to do it. And doing these stories, I have to do my research because I don't want to give out any wrong information. I want to stick to the truth, the facts, because I never want someone to come back and say, Curtdog said this and it's not true. So, but I appreciate you for always sticking in there with us. But people, we need to get out and vote. Kind of like uh, Georgia is still showing out. Um, they actually um, have a new mayor um, in Georgia. So that's, I believe he was voted in last week, I believe. Um, I'm trying to get his name. Da, 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 da. Dickerson. He was the underdog, and he actually won. So Andrew Dickerson, who rode to victory Tuesday in Atlanta mayor race, was told he was aiming too high once again. And they told him he was aiming too high, but you don't listen to what men tell you. It's a higher person that actually make the final decision. So shout out to Andrew Dickerson for his win. Uh, Dickinson was targeting a council member who had been disbarred after this uh, depositing funds intended for clients into his own bank account. Dickinson had an ongoing manner, dramatic speaking style, and one other major advantage: his campaign was being steered by his friend Gabriel Franklin, the now deceased son of former mayor Atlanta Mayor Shirley Franklin. Still, the odds were long, but In his victory speech Tuesday, Dickinson recounted his thinking when critics said he should aim lower for the first office. So shout out to Mayor Dickinson winning the Atlanta mayor race after um, Keisha Knight um, bottom for leading the city in the right direction. And those are big shoes he got to fill in. So hopefully he continue to do the job that Keisha Knight bottoms have done. And continue to make Atlanta a great city. But the city of Atlanta is they showing out. Um, the last couple election, they've been showing up and showing out. They are an example of changing their leadership. Tired of the way that their leadership have been going. So shout out to the city of Atlanta for stepping up and leading the way. And hopefully other states and cities will take a look at this and see how the city of Atlanta is doing it and the changes that they're making in their cities because they're not sitting back and waiting for everybody else to go vote and say they're gonna make the difference. No, they showing up to vote since Trump campaign. They've been showing up to vote. Uh, Now, whenever Marjorie Green come up for re-election, we need for y'all to still show up because we need to get her out of office, send her packing. This heifer said something the other day, which damn near knocked me off my feet. Talking about over 600,000 people die of cancer every year, but ain't nothing shut down. My response to her tweet was, uh, I was going to take the time and explain it to her, but hell, she's a leader. She should know the difference between cancer and this virus. So if she don't know the difference, maybe she needed to go up to a COVID ward and find out. But this little heifer think that cancer and the virus is the same, which is have nothing to do together. One is airborne, and the other one is it's inside your body. You can't get it from the air. So we don't need dumbass leaders like that to be in positions to even open their mouth to say stuff like that. We need to get them out of office because she's saying high intelligence. She's not. So we definitely need to change her up, and hopefully Georgia continue to step up. And when her reelection time come up, they can vote her out. And that's the way I feel about it, because she's cuckoo for Cocoa Puff. Um, so that's my opinion. That's the way I see it, because it's definitely a crazy situation to even compare the two. Out of all the people that have lost their life to cancer, the family members still struggling with um, losing loved ones to cancer, and you want to say something like that? No, you don't even need to be in office. So definitely, I don't understand it. And before we get up out of here, um, Jenny Ryan, yeah, Jenny Ryan. Um, um, Y'all probably don't remember Jenny Ryan, but we talked about it several times on the show. That's little Becky that um that just got sentenced. Little Becky, they said she wasn't going to jail because she had blonde hair, white skin, and have a good job, and the judge ain't gonna sentence her to jail. Well, I don't know if she thinks she's going to a resort, or do she realize she's going to prison. Her goal is thinking about taking drinking protein drinks all day for she could lose weight. Now she might be uh she probably gonna lose some weight, but it's not how she think it is. Talking about oh, they have green bologna in there and all of that. Well, that's what I'm telling you. I don't know. I ain't never been to jail. Um, but you think they're gonna provide protein shakes for you? You're not going on on a retreat. You going to prison for should have been domestic terrorist for a terrorist act that you did on this great country. But you think you going there to have a retreat and sit up in there and drink protein shake and do yoga all day. I don't know where you think you're going, but I know who's waiting on you. I definitely know who's waiting on you because you probably will lose some weight. But it's probably gonna be because Big Bertha is chasing you around that cell. So definitely don't get it twisted thinking you finna go up in jail and get all fine and stuff. Talking about you gonna set you can meet your goal while you're in jail because you can't drink. Oh, they gonna have some drinks for you. Yeah, what's that? The Talibo uh, alcohol or something? Yeah, they're gonna have some drinks for you, but you may not like it. Well, I guess I don't know. It probably tastes good because yeah, they still been taking it all this time. Um, so yeah, we're gonna see how that work out for you. But you talking about I'm gonna lose weight because I can't drink. I'm gonna do yoga and protein shakes all day. Hmm. You better learn quick about drop one flush. Because if not, you finna have some hell. You probably gonna lose some weight, but you probably gonna come out looking like you've been in a boxing match also. Um, and attacking America, then think you finna go on a retreat. Now to send our ass to Rockers Island somewhere because she thinks she finna enjoy this. Enjoy your holidays while you can. And 2 months is way too short. That was a flap on the wrist. Um, yeah, I'm gonna be drinking protein shakes and doing yoga all day. Shit, you probably should have been taking some boxing matches for when you get up in there. So you finna have to do some things to make it peaceful for you. But that's just my opinion because I'm like, hey, you really think you finna go up in prison and do yoga and drink protein shakes all day long? That's what your goal is. They need to take your real estate license from you. They should have gave you more time than that. But that's our justice system. That's why we're doing the show in 2 weeks about difference between black laws and white laws. Because it's definitely a difference. It's a big difference. Um, because people think it's a it's not true the difference between the two, but it is. It's a lot of difference. Um, Unfortunately, some people don't fail to realize that there's a difference between black laws and white laws, and and how much more time black people get charged or people of color get charged than our white counterpartners. Isn't a difference? So um, you are listening to Speak On It with Who You With Curtdog. I am Who You With Curtdog. And hopefully, if you're just tuning in, if you're not already subscribed to the channel, you can always subscribe, click the notification, like it, share it with a friend. Like I said before, um, Thursday night, it's been a while, we've been trying to get our schedule together, but Thursday night, um, Miss Simmons will be on the show with Miss Risky and I. we will be doing a counseling show. So definitely, somebody who is struggling with stuff, need help trying to figure out things mentally, that is overwhelmed. This is a you. If you're dealing with grief right now, this is a show for you because with the holidays going on, you're having to deal with a lot of stuff, having to deal with the fact not having your loved ones around you. When they used to sit across from you at the dinner table, but now they're not there, or you picking up the phone and calling them, but they were there to be able to answer that call. And I met a brother last week. Um, we was talking, and I was like, "Hey man, how was your Thanksgiving?" He said it was good. How was yours? I said it was good, but it was rough. He said, "What's going on?" And I told him, I said, "Well, look, that's the first year without my mom, so it was rough." And the brother said, "We talk," and he said, "Man, it's funny how you say that. I lost my mother." And this is what he told me. He lost his mother about 5 or 6 years ago. And he said, still today, he'll pick up the phone sometime and call a number and realize she's no longer there. And he said, during the holidays, it get worse. And he told me, he said, man, when he said it, I said, mm. And I kind of laughed, not because I don't believe him, but because it actually happened to me also. And with that being said, people don't realize once you lose someone so close to you, it takes a while. You may never get over it. I've talked with people that actually lost loved ones that may still have that person's cell phone active, but they can hear the person's voice. And I'm like, it's nothing wrong with that. You have to grieve the best way you can. And there's no time frame for grieving. That's why we having Miss Simmons come on Thursday to deal with that because said Thanksgiving was rough for me. Um, it was rough, and talking with her, and I'm like, hey, I had a hard time. And she said, you're going to have these hard times. And with the holidays coming up, it's going to be even worse. Thanksgiving, then you have Christmas coming up. So it's going to get worse. And it's always going to be there. It can eventually, you kind of get used to it, but you never get over it because you're used to doing certain things. For me, whenever something going on in my life, I always, first person I call is is my mom. Um, well, the second person, if my wife don't already know about it, I will call my mom first, or second after I tell my wife about it and go from there. But you never get over it. So definitely Thursday, listen into the show. Miss Simmons will be on the show. Next year, we're going to try to bring more shows with more counselors coming on. I would love to have a counseling on every week if possible, um, where we can provide help for someone. Now, some people may say, oh, I don't need no counselor. I ain't listening to that show. It may not be you the one that's dealing with it. It may be somebody that's close to you. You can invite them to listen to the show and let them listen and then say, you know what? Listen with them because sometimes we don't realize we need help. Yeah, we don't realize sometimes we actually need help ourselves. Because for me, before I started taking counseling, I didn't realize I needed help. And even once I started taking, I sat there and I looked at my counselor for the first 2 or 3 sessions, just had my arms folded, just staring at them while they talk. They asked the question, I give them a short answer. Um, it was the first 2 times. Then that third time, I came in there and I'm in tears. And from that point, I opened up. I realized, you know what? I need some help. So definitely um, take counseling for granted. I seen a video today where someone said um, some of our elderlies don't understand that the new people, the younger people are changing, are breaking change of the cycle about not now young people are taking counseling, getting help for their issues. They speaking out more about stuff that is taking place or have taken place in their life. So many different issues have come out, and they break in those generation curves because we was always told, and you never talk about what happened in the family or what happened um, in the household, but people are breaking those chains and making it known what's going on and making a difference. See, that's what breaking generation curse is all about. Doing something different than what you actually been taught to benefit the good of things. Because by you telling your story, it can actually help someone. As for me, I take counseling every week, and that may encourage someone to actually go out and get counseling just because of my testimony about the things I've been through, the things that I'm struggling with. Um, I make it known, not for somebody can say, "Oh, he's putting all this business out there," because you always gonna have somebody talking about, um, "Oh, look at him just telling all this business." No, it's to help someone because you never know who you helping, who listen to you. Um, um, So it's a bit different when you actually helping someone, you telling your testimony to help someone. See, a lot of people don't realize your testimony um, can lift somebody up to be able to do better than what they're doing. Instead of talking about them or anything like that, you being honest and real with them and giving them to let them know it's a different way of doing things, basically. So definitely join us on Thursday dealing with counseling. Um, and I expect there's going to be a lot of people um, tuning in to that show for the simple fact that we're going to deal with a lot of issues. Uh, and one thing about Miss Simmons, when she came on in the past, she always she don't really put a time limit because we want to be able to help people. And I talked with her today to verify it, and she was like, "Yes, I cleared my schedule if I could be on there on Thursday." Her last appointment is at 5:30, and she was like, "I cleared my schedule if I could be on the show." It been a while, but she's definitely back in the house, and um, tell a friend, tell a friend. It may not be you, but it may be somebody who you know that's dealing with stuff. In the past, we actually talked about malicious parent syndrome. Um, Dealing with malicious parent syndrome, I received several phone calls, several um, people reached out to me wanting to know more, and I try to guide them the best way I could. Um, but the thing is, malicious parent syndrome is a real situation, And people say, "Oh no, that don't happen. That ain't true." Yes, talk to your people. That's what we need to start doing. Start communicating with each other. Cause I'm like this. If somebody's dealing with something, hit me up. Let's talk about it. Because one thing about whatever we discuss is between us. I'm not gonna go back and tell your business. Um, that defeat the purpose. I have to be able to, a person have to be able to trust me to come to me and tell me something that they're going through, just like I will have to do the same thing. So definitely find that person that you can trust that can be honest and open with you. I remember years ago, before I got married, I used to have married people come to me and ask me questions um, about how to deal with this, how to deal with that in a marriage. And I wasn't married. I had been married, but I had got a divorce. But they respect my word because I would never tell them to leave their spouse. If it was something abusive or something like that, that's completely different. But just dealing with everyday issues, I would tell them, hey, y'all need to communicate. Communication is the key. I would never tell them they needed to leave their spouse. Now, if it's a dangerous situation, that's completely different. Um, but other than that, no. You both grown. You both should be able to discuss anything that is going on. Um, it's nothing too hard for God, and that's all to it. But some people they lose focus of it. I would tell people all the time, look, when it come down to your relationship, you got to evaluate what is your relationship built on. I know people finna stop listening now, but um, a lot of people focus their relationship on the physical part of it. That can't be your foundation of your relationship. The physical part cannot be the foundation of your relationship. And it's important once you get married, it's definitely important, but it shouldn't be the foundation of it. There's other parts that need to be the foundation. First of all, don't marriage because the way a person make you feel good. That's not a reason for it to get married. You didn't need to marry because it's love there. It's not about what a person have or don't have, which I see a lot of people base their relationship on what a person can do for them and can't do for them. Um, that's the wrong way to do it because you never know. The person that you turn down because they can purchase you this or take you here, take you there, then this person end up getting a great paying job and now they can do all those things, but then you threw them away when they was down. And that old saying, one man trash is another man treasure. And vice versa for the ladies too. Don't base your relationship on that. Your relationship, the foundation need to be love. If you can accept me during my bad time, we can kick it strong during my good time. Um, and some people don't understand that. If it's a bad situation, they run from it. Don't be quick to run to get out of a relationship. I know that wasn't part of the story tonight, but and that was just on my heart because somebody trying to make a decision if they're gonna stay in this relationship or not, and base it up on what a person can or can't do. Anything can change. You never know. Um, I thank God for my wife because I've gone through some things and she still was there with me. So that's um that's always a good thing. But don't base your relationship uh, on what a person can do to you. This is important. Now, if a person just sitting there playing video games think opportunity finna knock, no, that ain't the person for you. Because if you accept that person because of the physical part and not what they trying to do, you always gonna have issues. So, um, so you got to look at it like that. You gotta work hard. You both gotta work hard. Matter of fact, um, you gotta be able to outserve your mate. Yeah, because some people they want their wife or their husband to do everything for them. But what happened when that person is dead and gone? You haven't done anything. You don't know what to do now that they're gone. But some people don't think about that. You got to know exactly what's going on, just like everyone else. So you work together. You are a team, and don't let it uh, just be one person doing everything. You need to know exactly what's going on, because that's kind of like a parent that gives their child everything, and then once that parent is no longer able to do it, or if that parent unfortunately pass away, that child haven't learned anything because they're used to someone doing everything for them. So you have to be able to um, show them the way. That old saying about there's always a good woman behind a strong man. That's right. I personally prefer a woman on my side and not behind me because we in this together. And unfortunately, some people still stick to that old way. My wife and I, we walk side by side. We in this together. So, um, and then on top of that, it's a lovely thing. Um, it's a great thing. But I wasn't trying to be no love doctor tonight, but just letting people know you gotta want more in a relationship than just the physical part. Because the thing is, as you get older, that physical part, everything not gonna work, or everything may not work the way it used to. And if that's all you have for your relationship, what happened then? Yeah, I know some old fellas talking about, oh, they got these little blue pills and all of that. Well, you could take the little blue pills, but just to keep your relationship going, how is they gonna benefit you? You gotta have a relationship based on just the physical part of a relationship. You need more to it than just the physical part. So tomorrow night, depends on how my day go tomorrow. Hopefully I get off early. We've been putting in some long hours, but hopefully I will get back on tomorrow night. If not, please enjoy the replay. And I would also don't forget Thursday. I will put a post up to remind people of Thursday with Miss Simmons coming on the show. Free counseling, regardless of where you are located. This is a show that you should listen to. A lot of people are struggling with deaths. A lot of people are struggling with losing a job. Kind of like the mortgage company the other day on a Zoom call terminated 900 employees on a Zoom call. 900. They had no idea it was coming. You get on a Zoom call with your company and then being told you've been terminated. How do you think they stress level is going? They probably stressed out. Yeah, they gave them a 2 month salary, paid for the insurance for a couple of months or something. But still, in a time like this, now you having to go out during the holidays, look for a new job. How you think they stress level is? See, it's a lot of people. Yeah, they saying a lot of people don't want to go back to work, but we got to realize we're still in this thing. Um, this virus is picking up. This new variant. Uh, they found the first case in Texas, down in Houston, and the woman says she haven't traveled nowhere, but she haven't. I know they're not pushing it like they were before by um, getting tested and getting your vaccine, but unfortunately, with the times we're in today, if you're not vaccinated, you can't come to my house. I'm sorry, because I'm not going to put myself at risk nor my at risk. So come into my house if you're not vaccinated. I love you, but you can't come here. Uh, that's all to it. Some people still skeptical about getting vaccinated. Hey, more power to you. I just know for me, um, I'm not going to play Russian roulette. Um, and unfortunately, a lot of people are. I think it was where was that at? It was somewhere overseas. Someone had a Christmas party, and unfortunately, I think it was over 60 peoples that was at this Christmas party got this new variant. And some been vaccinated, some hadn't. So um, I'm gonna say still protect yourself, stay safe, regardless of what people around you are doing. And here's the key: most people you don't know who they've been around, who haven't been around, and then you go hang out. It don't take much. So um, I know I do prevented um, stuff to try. I don't get it, but it's not guaranteed either. I've had two vaccinations. I can get my booster shot, and I'm gonna take it. But also, I try to protect myself at all times. Just like boxing, you need to protect yourself, and so I try to do that and wear my mask all the time. And sometimes I go into places I may be the only person with a mask on, but I also wear my mask for the simple fact the type of work I do. I'm with the public all day, even though I'm wearing my mask, but you never know. So I'm trying to protect you too. And I've been vaccinated, and I'm just not going to take that opportunity to um, mess around and infect someone because if I get it, be asymptomatic or something, and then pass it on to someone, I would that would really hurt me to find out how many symptomatic and pass it to my wife or someone else I'm around. So I don't play around with that. Um, but definitely still protect yourself regardless of what you're doing, who you're around, um, regardless of who it is. But other than that, I really appreciate everyone for tuning in. First of the year will get better. Um, you must know I have to be tired if I'm not even playing replays all the time because my routine is go to work, come home, uh, take a shower, grab something to eat. I'm back in the bed because now we're coming in.
at 6 in the morning a lot of time. And that means I get up about 4 in the morning. So it's rough. It's definitely rough. But I love what I do, and they pay me well. So I'm gonna do what I have to do, but also just gotta keep on trying to stay safe. So, but other than that, if I'm here tomorrow, I will. If not, I will see y'all on Thursday, p.m. Central Time. It will be Miss Risky and myself both on the show with Miss Dion Simmons, and we will be doing counseling all all night, talking about different events. If it's something you want the counselor to talk about, shoot me an email, and we can add that to the subject also. Who you with Curtdog at mail.com. Who you with Curtdog at mail.com. And when you shoot the email, put in a message. Counseling session or something like that where to stand out and I'd look at it instead of just kind of overlooking it. But definitely do that. And uh, because I know a lot of people, it's not as comfortable as myself to talk about it. But if you send me an email of something you want us to hit on, I could definitely do it. And Miss Simmons can answer your question. Like if you have a question, how to deal with this, how to deal with that, definitely shoot the email to me, and we will make sure um, we talk about it. Um, and hopefully you tune in for you can hear the response from it. But once again, shout out to Suffolk Cliff High School. The Bears is on their way to Amarillo for is it Amarillo? Love it. Out west for they could do the semifinal in the high school football. Shout out to the coaches, the team. Good luck. Um, do what you got to do. Handle business. So until next time, I love each and every one of you. Till then, peace.